With COVID shutting down live events everywhere, it's become harder for artists and musicians like you to get the exposure you need to grow your business. That's why many have turned to live streaming to get more attention and to get more gigs. So, whether you're a musician or a writer or a comedian or a performing artist, today we're going to show you how to grow your creative business using the power of live stream video. Stay tuned. It's the business of live video. And today we're going to be talking about live streaming for musicians and artists. Hey, welcome to the show. My name is Owen Video. You can give me 5. That's right. Type 5 into the comment section below. That is how we say hello. And if it's your first time here, be sure to type new in the comment section so we can come over there and greet you like you should be greeted. Now, remember, if you're watching this on the replay, you can skip ahead to the 10-minute mark anytime that you like if you want to jump right into the content. Otherwise, stick around for a little bit. Enjoy the pre-show because we're going to be doing some fun things. We're going to be welcoming our audience. Plus, we're going to be giving away some really cool free stuff. In fact, why don't we jump right into that? I want to give away some free stuff right now. Let's give away some free gear. And this month, we are giving away this Rode PodMic cardioid microphone, perfect for any musician or performing artist looking to start a live stream show. This microphone is perfect for live streaming from a desk or a home studio and features its own internal pop filter to give you the best quality sound. It also comes with its own desktop stand that can attach virtually anywhere and features its own shock mount to reduce vibration. It's normally $100 online, but you can get this mic for free. All you have to do is go to epiclivevideo.com and start a free account with Restream. Or if you already have an account with Restream, you can upgrade your current account. Now, if you don't know what Restream is, then you're in the right place because Restream opens the doors to getting more gigs. I hope that you like this picture of me from right before I took a bath last night. But Restream opens the doors to more gigs. Restream is the best and most affordable live stream software that you will ever use. Even though the product is free, you can Restream on up to 250 different social media sites, which maximizes your exposure. Plus, when you sign up with Restream, you get this broadcast studio that comes with all sorts of great features, including inviting a guest, storing to the cloud. You get a broadcasting studio. You get all these cool default graphics, plus the analytics to let you know that what you're doing is actually working. So you can get started for free and enter to win a microphone over at epiclivevideo.com. That's epiclivevideo.com. Let's welcome our social media audience joining us today. Super pumped to have you here. I just got back from sort of a long weekend myself, and so I'm looking forward to seeing who is out there. It feels like I've been away is my point. It feels like you go away for a weekend, and Kamal Tech is saying, I just did my first broadcast with Restream. That is so exciting. Air 5 to you, my friend. Glad to see it. But, you go away for a weekend, and you feel like you've been out of touch with everybody. And so I'm excited to see you guys today. I want to say what's up to Paul Duke from Vancouver, Canada. Paul Duke has an excellent show on teaching English to English language learners. I want to say what's up to my good friend and plant killer extraordinaire, Teresa Ann Thomas. I say that facetiously because I'm trying to grow plants, and Teresa's actually really good at it. I am not, my friends. John is over, I should say Rigor is over there saying, hey, Owen, Demi, TD, and Carlos, good to see you here. And a very special welcome to Omega Mind, Body, and Soul, who is saying new. I'm glad to see you here. Air 5 to you, my friend. Super pumped to have you here. Of course, Jerry Wald is on the show, and ya boy Ayanda TD is out there. Good to have you here. My good friend Charlotte Ann Moore is here. Let me hear from you guys. Also, Krister Bovin is logging in saying hello from Belgium. What is it you guys are working on right now? I would love to hear from you. What is it you guys are working on right now? Demi is saying, I love your haircut. Thank you, my friend. Hopefully you can see this. This gives you the better angle. I want you to know, many of you already do know that 9 months ago, I was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer, and the doctors told me that there was no hope. They told me that there was no medicine that can cure me, but I chose not to believe them. I chose to explore alternative treatments, and I have never felt healthier in my life. I have shrunk my tumors over 40%. In fact, we have some really big news coming out very soon. And this haircut is a sign of my rebellion. It is a sign of my sort of, my rebellion against people telling you what's possible for you and your life. So if you're out there and you're dealing with a disease, a diagnosis, a divorce, or a dragon in your life, I want you to know that you can overcome that. You just have to find the right way to do it. So thank you so much for that compliment. Bracket Reviews is in the house. Guy Cochran is logging in. We have so much good stuff for you today. We're going to be sharing with you guys content I have never shared before, and I'm super excited to share it with you guys today, with y'all. I hate to say you guys. I don't want to leave anybody out who doesn't relate to the word guys, but I'm very excited to share with y'all some content that I have never shared before, and I think that you're really going to get a kick out of it. In fact, you know what I love about this community? You know why I love sharing things with you? Because we support each other. And that's why each week on this show, we like to recognize a member of our audience, someone just like you, who is doing incredible work with live stream video. And this is a segment that we like to call the Streamer of the Week. And this week, we are going to be recognizing Dale Roberts, who is an accomplished independent author and the host of the Self-Publishing with Dale podcast on YouTube. Roll it, Carlos. Congratulations to Dale Roberts, who is a good friend and an accomplished independent author and the host of Self-Publishing with Dale on YouTube. He works with his wonderful wife. He has a great attitude towards life, and he really is one of those people that you just have to meet in person. Go follow Dale on his social media channels. We're putting those links in the description box now. And give him a big clap emoji in the comment section. Dale, congratulations to you, my friend. Dale is a close friend, and we didn't pick him because he was a close friend. We picked him randomly because he won sort of the drawing last week to be the Streamer of the Week. But I was excited to see his name because I've known Dale for a long time. We've actually met multiple times at multiple different conferences, and every time I see Dale online or in person, he's the exact same person. His wife, Kelly, is simply adorable, and the two of them have this amazing business. So, Dale, it's an honor to recognize you this week, and I'm super glad that you're a part of our community over here. And for those of you watching this right now, if you want to be recognized as a Streamer of the Week, then all you have to do is share this video on your timeline right now. Share this video out, and our fantastic producer, Carlos Zepeda, will pick one lucky shareifier to be the Streamer of the Week on next week's show. Okay, how many of you are ready to start the show? Say yeah in the comment section right now. if you are ready to start the show. And you guys know that I like to start every show with sort of a question of the day. Now, I want you to really pay attention and help me out today. I want to get real with you, okay? By asking this question: where do you struggle the most, okay? As a musician or an artist or even as a business person, talk to me about where you want to improve the most in your business. Tell me in the comment section below, because we are going to get started right now. I just want to make sure that everything is set up. I want to make sure I'm hearing Bracket Reviews is saying just boop the like. I like it. Demi Hart is saying, how do I spell yeah? That's why I put it on the screen, because I don't know. Does anybody know who these two characters are? Do you guys know who they are? If you do, let me know in the comment section. Victims of the Media is asking a great question. Guys, if you have questions, let me know about them in the comment section below. Let's go ahead and get started right now in 3, 2. Today, we're going to be talking about live streaming for artists and musicians. And we're going to be talking about how to create a live stream show around your brand, around your talent, that not only sets you up as the premier talent, but also gets you more gigs. And today we're going to be covering 3 big topics. We're going to be talking about how to position your talent and your art as the premier choice in your marketplace or niche. We're going to be talking about how to craft your message so that people actually remember you and request you. And I'm going to be showing you how to create a simple live video or podcast show where you can share your music, your talents, and your creativity. So if you know someone who is an artist or who might fit into this category, go ahead and tag them right now in the comment section so they can join us today. And remember, I'm going to be going through today's content kind of quickly. So if you want to get my live video checklist and gear guide that will help you sort of jump start your journey, just go to owenvideo.com/checklist and you can get that right now. Okay, let's jump in here to tip number 1, which is to position your talent and art as the premier choice in your marketplace or niche. So we're going to talk a little bit about positioning, and I hope that you will ask me your questions in the comment area. Carlos will pop them up as they come. So how do you get positioned? Okay. How do you get into this place where your audience base and more importantly, booking agencies. So whether it's, the owner of a nightclub, or whether it's a comedy club, or whether it's even a conference, if you're a musician, if you're an artist, I mean, I would even say painter, conferences are always looking for great art and great performances to fill their agendas. And so how do you get positioned? Well, the answer to that is with a regular, recurring live streaming show. Okay, so what is a live streaming show? A live streaming show is really, it's you going live. But the difference between going live and a show is that a show has theme, okay? And a show has a recurring nature to it, okay? So a show has theme and a show has a recurring nature to it. Now, Victims of the Media is out there, and he's saying my demo is 5 to 40. Okay. It's not actually, okay? I know you might think it is, and knowing who your audience is can be a real challenge, but getting positioned, okay, is what is really going to set you apart. Now, your theme for your show is going to help with that a lot. So if you have a theme that is more attractive to a younger audience, then you're going to start to generate value among that younger audience. If your theme, however, of your show is more geared towards an older audience, then you're going to attract that older audience. So, what does that mean for the artist or the musician? Well, I want you to think about the kind of music that you play or the kind of jokes that you tell, the kind of monologues that you do, right? If you're maybe an actor, who does that appeal to? Okay. What marketplaces do those appeal to? Now, this can be like a hard question for many people to answer. And I've got a lot of artists in my family. You guys forgive my voice. I'm a little raspy today, but I've got a lot of artists in my family. And so we've dealt with this on a number of different forefronts. Let's talk about stand-up comedy. Okay. If you're a stand-up comedian, and by the way, I do a lot of stand-up comedy. I'm a TikTok comedian. I have a 250,000 followers on my TikTok channel where we do family comedy. But that's a perfect example. Family is my theme, which means no profanity. It means no vulgarity. But it also sort of means like we're doing more kid-centric, kid-themed shows. Okay? So let me ask you guys watching out there today, who is the main audience that you are trying to attract? Now, victims of media, I'm not talking about what you think it is. Tell me who you want to attract, okay? And I want you to really separate between male and female. I want you to separate between married and non-married, and I want you to separate between like income levels or sort of social class, okay? Social class. What does that mean? Is that rude? Well, I mean, it feels rude, right? Doesn't it? It might feel rude, but the question is, are you appealing more to an executive class or a PhD level type of person, someone who's got some sort of experience to them? Or are you sort of an everyman comedian? Are you sort of an everyman's artist? Okay. And we could take Bob Ross, for example. How many of you guys are familiar with Bob Ross? Bob Ross is just like the godfather of sort of like artistry on media, and he had that show Painting with Bob Ross, and his audience, even though it could appeal to anyone from 5 to 40, he really focused on people that could afford painting supplies, people who had a canvas in their home. Okay, which sort of applies an interest in art and sort of applies a budget, right? So even though a 15-year-old could watch the show and get value from it, he's really appealing to the parent, isn't he? So I would like to see some of the comments on who you think you should be sort of targeting. Hardboiled English is saying, my dream is to be the Bob Ross of English teachers. I absolutely love it. You bring up a great point. So as you guys are sort of filling that in and thinking about who your audience is, the first step is creating a regular recurring show, which means you go live once a week for a half an hour or for 60 minutes. Well, how do you do that? I'm going to show you right now. Take a look at my live streaming calendar, and I've broken this down for you, okay, into a couple different dates on your calendar. So what you're seeing is sort of like a regular weekly calendar, and I'm just picking Tuesday and Thursday as hypotheticals, but maybe for you it's Monday and Wednesday. Maybe it's Thursday and Friday. It doesn't matter. But on Tuesday, you're going to spend 30 minutes prepping. On Thursday, you're going to spend 30 minutes going live. Do you see that? You see how that works? So really, your live stream show is only going to take you an hour per week. It's not bad. An hour per week, because I know you're probably busy. And you're going to go live speaking about topic one, whatever that topic is. Or, maybe you're going to do rock songs on week 1 and then ballads on week 2, or maybe you'll do acoustic on week 3 and so on and so forth. Okay. So then you're simply going to apply that to the next 4 weeks of your month here. And if there is a 5th week in the month, then you want to take that 5th week off for rest and analytics. Okay. Take a look at what your show stats are telling you and, what's working and what's not working. Now, every social media site will give you some level of analytics. If you do use Restream, how many of you are using Restream? Put your hands up. Give me a yes in the comment section if you're already using Restream. If you're already using Restream, you get tons of in-depth analytics that will also tell you who your audience is. And victims of media, I love what you're saying. I paint t-shirts mostly for kids and young teens, but their parents have the credit cards. Wow, you're exactly right. So I think you're in that family crowd, okay? And that I'm so glad that you came to that on your own, because now you need to be printing, you need to be doing content that is fit for kids but attracts parents. And that's going to have some sort of, you've got to figure out what those mean, because you could also be talking about conservative parents and more liberal parents. You know what I mean? And you need to break that up. We definitely reach more of the church-going audience. We want to be in a place where we're sort of reaching this marketplace that no one is really tapping. Okay, my C Prince is asking a great question here, who says, live stream one day, about to start posting and starting on YouTube. Yes, you should absolutely be live streaming on YouTube. And we're going to talk about that in just a quick second. But first, actually, let's go ahead and talk about that right now. Let's talk about where you should be live streaming. Okay, so the first thing is that I want to talk about with this is that you can go live from your mobile device or from a webcam. It doesn't matter. Okay. So whether you're going to just like pick up your phone and put your phone up and play guitar, sing some songs, all of that's great. It absolutely works. Will the sound quality be the best? Will the audio quality be the best? No, it won't. It'll be your mobile phone. But you can start there and you can start building the habit. Now, over time, I would like you to start building with a webcam and building in a microphone. And we're going to show you guys the equipment that I think that you should get. Hopefully, if some of you are artists, you already have some of this stuff in your house. But the next thing I want to talk about is, where should you broadcast your message? Okay. Now, when you use Restream as your broadcaster, you can broadcast onto multiple social media sites all at one time. So what does that mean? It means you can go live on Facebook and on YouTube, but it also means that you can be broadcasting in multiple different Facebook groups. And this is kind of where I want to just like get you to kind of come back in here for a second, because if you're not active on YouTube now, it might be a good time to get active on YouTube, to start a YouTube channel where you go live. And that's the sole purpose. So you're going to go live on Facebook and on this brand new YouTube channel. In fact, how many of you have a YouTube channel right now? Tell me what the name of your YouTube channel is in the comment section below. How many of you have no channel yet? Say no channel in the comment section, and we can talk about what it takes to get started. So I want you to really consider Timothy W. Dunn, Air 5 to you, my man, my C Prince, Air 5 to you. Let's talk about what it means on Facebook. Okay, so we just talked about, I want you to go live on Facebook and on YouTube. But now I want you to think about starting a Facebook group specifically for your musician or your artistry business. Okay, if you have a Facebook group that is, let's say that you are a painting company and you have sort of like a paint and latte business where people come in, they can bring wine, you show them how to paint and they paint. It's a wonderful business. We've worked with many companies like yours before. And you have a Facebook group for your customers. Well, I would also live stream in that Facebook group. Okay. Let's say that you don't have a Facebook group. Well, I would start one specifically so that you can go live in your Facebook group and begin to build beyond your customer base, but like an audience base as well. So my recommendation for any musician or artist or comedian is you go live on your Facebook profile. You have to. so that everybody knows, because everybody follows your profile, your friends, family, what network. But then you should also start a YouTube channel. You should broadcast from your Facebook profile if you have a Facebook business page, because that way you can boost and promote it if you want to. But then what is it? Fourth, you should broadcast from a Facebook business page or artistry page. And if you don't have one, you'll create one. If you do, then you'll use the current group that you have now. Okay. So that's how you sort of create this show appeal. And now now I'm a little hoarse today. Now I want to talk about, what do you say in your show? Okay. What do you say in your show is a really tough question to answer, especially for an artist. Now, I mean, here's the skinny. I'm more of a business creator. Okay. I have an artistic edge in me. I've always been sort of an actor, a singer, a dancer. I've always been now I'm a terrible dancer. But I was in the musicals in high school, that sort of thing. I've always been sort of in the performance arts. I'm certainly a creative. But at the end of the day, I run a business and I work with business people. Like, that's our goal, is to increase ROI and sales and those kinds of things. Why do I mention that? Because for this show, for the business of live video, we have a very specific format. It's, what do I want to teach you? And then what are the 3 sort of bullet points I want to teach in that show? When you're an artist and you're playing music or you're singing songs, you're maybe doing a comedy routine, it's kind of like, what do you do for that half hour? What do you do for that 60 minutes? That's what I want to show you right now. And to dig into that, we have what's called show formats. Okay. Now, your format can be sort of anything, but I want to share with you 2 proven formats that we've used for both musicians and for comedians, actors, and painters. Okay. Savvy Turtle, first of all, logging in. My man, good to see you, Savvy Turtle. Okay, let's go into these different show formats. So if you're a musician, here's the format that I would use. I would open up with a song. Okay, now let's keep this in mind. Are you playing your own music or are you playing covers? I think it can be a combination of both. If you play your own music, I think that's better, but you're going to run into this problem of, I can't sing along. Now, you'll always have that problem unless you start playing your own music. So I think that no matter what you do, you need to play your own music. If you're playing covers, you might get dinged by the Facebook sort of like copyright police. What does that mean? Are you penalized? Does it hurt you? No, it doesn't hurt you. You just can't make money on the stream, and that's okay. That's totally okay. Because after all, your goal is not to like get donations from Facebook users. Your goal is to get people to grow your audience and your fan base. Okay, so I want to just kind of clarify that between, you need to know like what happens when you play cover songs. What will happen is you'll get an alert that says, hey, you can't monetize this video. And you say, no problem. You know, it doesn't really need to happen. But you're going to open up with a song. Why? Because people tuned in to hear you play a song. Do not open up your show with like, hey, everybody, welcome. We're going to get started in just a minute. Don't do that. You want to like, if you're broadcasting on your phone, you want to set your phone up, press record, and then like maybe like just immediately start playing a song. Here's why, because more people will watch the replay than will actually watch the live stream. Even if you get 100 people on your live stream, right? Even if you get 100 people on your live stream, you'll probably get 300, 400 views on your replay, right? After your live. So you want to really appease the replay viewers. And the replay viewers, all they do is press play. And when they press play, you want a song to start playing. Okay. So you're going to open up with the song right away to bring your audience in. And then what I want you to do is announce your show dates. Okay. Announce your show dates. Hey, everybody, that was a song I wrote, back in, 2017. I'm glad you're here today. I want to let you know that I'm going to be playing at this gig and this gig and this gig. And you can buy tickets over at blah, 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 whatever the case might be. Gotta say what's up to my good friend Ash Borland, and my man Jordan Michael Thomas Air 5, to you guys. Thanks for joining us on our live stream today. Now, after you announce the show dates, you're going to play 2 more songs. Why? Because people are logging in to hear you play. They're logging in to hear you play. Now, if you're a singer, you're going to sing 2 more songs. What I see being, and you can modify these songs so that they're shorter. I actually recommend that, right? So instead of singing like the entire version of Lily's Eyes, strangely quiet, she leaves the room yet remains. One of my favorite songs from any musical, I'm a horrible singer, by the way, is you maybe sing 1 verse, the chorus, and then sort of end the song. That way you can get a song done in a minute and a half. But the idea is when you go live, I want you to hear me on this. When you go live, it's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes for your audience to even sort of join you. So it might be 1 person watching, 2 people watching, and then all of a sudden it's 10 people watching. That's a really good place to be. But you don't want to start talking to the audience until there's enough audience there to talk to. Like right now, we've got Ash Borland, Jordan Michael, Savvy Turtle, My Sea Prince. We've got You Do It. So we got plenty of people to have a conversation going. So you're going to play 2 more songs, and then you have to, Carlos is saying you have to sing 2 more songs now. I've got them, believe me. You don't want to hear them with this raspy voice. Catherine Jung logging in. Great to see you, Catherine. Okay, after you play 2 more songs, then you want to talk to the audience. You want to say, hey, thank you everybody for logging in today. So good to see you. Here's what we're gonna do on this show today, right? We're gonna do this. You like let them know what you're gonna. You say hi, like, hey Jordan, hey Ash, hey Carlos. Good to see you. You're gonna talk to them, and then you're gonna ask them to like take requests. Like, hey, what song do you guys want to hear? Tell me about it in the comment section. Now, here's the thing: as a musician, as an artist, like you have to be able to work the crowd a little bit. Okay, so you're gonna ask for requests. Now, here's what this does. You're asking for requests so that you can get comments in the live stream. When you get comments, your show gets sent out in the algorithm. Okay. That's why you're asking for requests. And then what you're going to do is you're going to sort of ask people to vote. So let me share with you what's going on here. You're going to say like, what requests do you guys want? People are going to say like Under the Bridge by Chili Peppers. They're going to say Piano Man. They're going to say, Tiny Dancer or whatever the case might be. I'm like revealing too much about my playlists. But then you're going to say, okay, now I want you guys to vote. So you'll pick 3 songs and you'll go, do you guys give me a whole bunch of hearts or give me a whole bunch of likes if you want to hear the song? You say, who wants to hear Piano Man? And you let people give you the heart bombs. Who wants to hear Freebird, right? Is what Victims of Media says. Who wants to hear a 17-minute song? So Freebird, people give me the likes. And then who wants to hear, We Are the Champions or whatever, right? All of that is just designed to trigger the algorithm. All of that is just designed so that you get some engagement on your stream, which tells Facebook and YouTube and the other algorithms that, hey, people like this show, and it will get them into more news feeds, which is going to grow your show, get more live viewers. Okay. So you want to ask for requests and then sort of do a vote. Then I want you to play that song, obviously. After that, you're going to ask for support. Remember, you've already invited them to come to your show. Okay. Now I want you to ask for support by inviting them to donate to you, or like throw $1 in the guitar case kind of thing. I'm going to show you how to do that coming up in the second part of our presentation today. So you want to ask for support. You want to say, hey, go support me on Patreon, or here's my PayPal, and those types of things. Those will all work extremely well. Okay. After you ask for support, then you want to end the live stream. You're going to close out by saying, thanks, just play a song like, hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. And then maybe you sing everybody's name as, Claudia Santiago is joining us today. She's a singer and she has an excellent live stream show. She has lights. She has a fan that blows her hair back. It's all very, very nice. these are all great things that you can implement into your show. So as you're saying goodbye, say, oh, we're saying goodbye today. And maybe you play like, hey, I want to say goodbye to Jordan Michael Thomas, Carlos Cepeda, and so on and so forth. Have some fun with it. But that's one way to end your show on sort of a high note. Spend about a minute or two doing that, just showing some personality, and then moving on. Okay, so I think we have a couple questions coming in. My C Prince is asking, Owen, can I ask a different question? I need advice on a channel trailer, my length and content. Also, how would you film it? Great question. A channel trailer is a video on YouTube that gets a designated section on your YouTube channel. So when a viewer goes to subscribe to your channel, or they go to your channel for really at the first time, second time, or third time, they'll see your channel trailer. And your channel trailer should be a 1.5 to 2.5 minutes of really high energy content that shows the best of your channel. I would recommend some A-roll talking head with some B-roll of the work that you do. So this should be a short, high impact video. Hey, welcome to my channel, where on this channel we do, cover songs, we share our own music, and we also do live streams once or twice a week, whatever the case might be. And while you're saying all this, your A-roll, you're showing B-roll of past live streams, showing B-roll of you playing in clubs, or whatever the case might be. So your channel trailer should change on an annual basis, I think, maybe even every 6 months. But it definitely needs to be created. And it's a great question to ask for those of you who are just starting a YouTube channel. Okay, let's go to point number 2. I'm going to make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, let's go to point number 2, which is craft your message so that people remember and request you. Okay, because it's not enough to just go live once a week. You also need to include a call to action that allows your viewers or your audience to move forward with you. And largely that comes in two different calls to action. Now, let's talk about that. What's a call to action? A call to action is where you ask your audience to do something, right? So you might say, go buy my album. That's a call to action. You might say, join my Facebook group. That's a call to action. And all of these calls to actions are appropriate, but I wouldn't do them all at the same time, right? Like I wouldn't go, hey, join my Facebook group, buy my album, and also go to my website and book me for your next birthday party, right? It's too much. What I would do is during your show, I would say things like, hey, after this, so you play a song, and after that song, you say, hey, if you guys like this music, join my Facebook group, right? Then play another song, tell another joke, or whatever the case might be. In fact, we had a comedian format as well that you guys got to see. I don't think we'll spend time with that today, but I didn't mean to breeze right past that. So the question is, how do you book yourself? Like, how do you make it so that your audience can support you? Well, there's two big calls to action. Number one is book me for a gig. This is where you're talking to venue managers and event planners, right? You're like, hey, if you want to book me for your next event, here's how you do that. Okay. The second one is join me. So you've got book me and you've got join me. Now, join me is where you create a paid fan base membership group on the web where you can bring your friends and family in to receive bonus content from you in exchange for a small monthly fee. You've probably heard of Patreon. And that's what we want to talk about a little bit right now. So when it comes to booking me, how do you get people to book you online? I recommend that you use Calendly. It's 100% free. And with Calendly, you can say, hey, would you like to book me for your next event. And when you do that, they can go onto this page where your calendar's set up. They can pick a time with you. Keep in mind, they're not booking you for the gig right now. They're booking you for a phone call to talk about the gig. Okay. And that's what you want. You do not want them sort of like booking a date on your calendar right off the bat. You're the one that wants to say yes or no to the gig. Plus, you want to get to know the person that you're dealing with. Now, what about when it comes to setting up a membership site? How do you set up a membership site? Well, there are lots of different places to set up a membership site. First of all, you can just use PayPal or Venmo. You can just say, hey, if you want to, if you like my music, if you like my comedy, if you like my art and you want to support me, you can go to blah, blah, blah.com and donate to my PayPal account. And you could even go to a $5 donation. You could go to a Venmo $25 donation. You can use a website called buymeacoffee.com where you can set up the same type of thing. Some of the more popular sites are like Patreon, and Patreon is great for podcasters. It's great for video creators, musicians. This is kind of like the tried and true sort of like membership site. But, you know, I don't want to get into the details because I'm not a Patreon expert, but there's been a big move, a big push here. Sorry about that click to add text there. That's a little bit of an error. But to just set up a membership account on YouTube. This is my good friend, Luria Petrucci, who is a live streamer. And she's got these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different levels of membership where you can be a supporter for $2 a month. You can be a streamer for $4.99 a month. And by the way, these are all just made up. They're just made up membership levels. So you could call like a fan, a super fan, whatever you feel is the best name for that level. A VIP, a producer, or an executive producer. And you're giving, $50 a month. So this membership, first of all, you could do a membership in Patreon and in YouTube and in Buy Me a Coffee and use your PayPal and Venmo. I think it's a little much. I think you really need to build around one platform. I would recommend, I think YouTube memberships is where I would go. But I'm very interested in this new one called Anchor Membership Support or Anchor Listener Support. This one's really designed more for podcasters, but it works the same way where listeners can donate to you and help you to build an income that way. This is a really powerful way to build up a financial base that may not be a ton of money. First of all, I know a lot of artists and musicians, you struggle to ask friends and family for money. Furthermore, I have friends. I have a good friend. I was visiting him this weekend. He's a painter. He's actually got a full-time job as an electrician, but his passion is painting, and he does these really like intricate glow-in-the-dark blacklight paintings. They're fantastic, I know I'm probably not going to spend $1,000 on his art right now at this point in my life. Okay. It's very, very good, but it's not the place where I'm in my life where I'm an art collector like Christopher Boven. However, I would easily support his craft with $2 to $5 to maybe even $25 a month. And by setting up a membership portal for your friends and for your family and for people that can't book you, this is a really fantastic way to build up a small base of funds, right? That maybe gets to $300, $500 a month recurring revenue. What does that pay for? It pays for your gas to go to get different gigs. It pays for your airline tickets to go to different gigs. It also might pay for an editor to help you start editing the live stream videos and create more of a marketing plan for the business that you're building. So I want you to remember that when it comes to tip 2, you can't just go live. You actually need to craft a message that will help people request you and build a show from that. Okay, let's go to your questions. Oops, I wasn't even showing the screen. Tip number 2 is craft a message around a call to action so that people can actually do business with you. 2, buddy, Shelly Saves. Man, Shelly Saves raised so much money for my treatment fundraiser. It was amazing. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Serenity Journey, Claudia Santiago, Savvy Turtle. Great to see you guys here. Tell me, what's the biggest takeaway you've heard from this presentation so far today? Because we still have more to go as we discuss live streaming for musicians and artists. I want to dip into our final tip for today, which is to create a simple live video podcast where you can share your music and your creativity. And this is one that I really struggle with artists and creatives, because so many of you often have this "that's not what I do" sort of approach. Okay, I get it. As an artist or a musician, you may not be like into QuickBooks. You may not be, like into business. You may not be into marketing. However, you have to understand that Leonardo da Vinci was a masterful marketer. I mean, I don't know if you read National Geographic took a couple months ago, did a whole thing on Leonardo da Vinci and covered his whole life. This guy was a networker. In fact, he wasn't even the best known at his time, but he was known for getting gigs. He was known for getting the job. He knew that if a new church or a new cathedral was being built, he would go there, right? If he knew there was going to be an art festival, he would go there and he would meet the people in charge and he would get these gigs. In fact, he had a horrible reputation for not finishing gigs. It's been rumored that Leonardo da Vinci didn't finish more projects than he actually did finish. He was a great marketer, not a great fulfiller of his product. So what I want to cover with you right now is how to actually start a live stream show, okay? And I talked a little bit about that earlier when I talked about, being able to live stream from your mobile device or being able to live stream from a webcam like I'm doing right now. And in order to do that effectively, you really need to have some gear in place. So I want to go through with you today some of the gear that you're going to need to start an effective live stream show. So what you're looking at right now is a Canon EOS mirrorless camera, and I recommend the Canon M6, okay? I recommend the Canon M6 to live stream with. And the reason that I recommend the Canon M6 is because it will never shut off and it will never overheat. I'm using an M6 right here, and I'm using an M6 right here. Okay. Now, do I expect you to get two? Of course not. This is what I do for a living. I have a little bit more of a budget. But with your Canon M6, you can also connect any number of EF lenses. What the heck is an EF lens? Look, I don't want you to turn into a camera expert. I myself am not a camera expert, but do you see how the background is a little blurry here? You guys notice that? Well, that's a production value point. I'm able to get that Canon M6 blur in the background because I use this lens right here. So the benefit of using a higher end Canon camera like this is that you can use lenses like this and get a blurry background that's really dynamic like this. Okay. Now, it won't work out of the box with your computer. You will have to get a cam link. Okay. This cam link plugs directly into your computer and can turn any DSLR into a webcam. And that makes this cam link a very powerful device. It does cost about $100. I have a couple of these. I would order it now, folks. I really would. Ever since COVID, these things have been hard to keep in stock. Okay. Now, if you're not in this place where that makes sense to you from a cost perspective, because what I just showed you is about $500 worth of gear, maybe even like $700. If you want to start a little bit smaller, that's okay. Start with a camcorder. Okay. You can get a Panasonic 4K camcorder. In fact, you could probably even get 8K these days for just $200, maybe even $300. It's not a lot of money. Now, here's the thing. With a camcorder, you can't get a blurry background like this. With a camcorder, everything's in focus, but it might work out of the box by plugging it into your computer. It just depends on what you get. You'll need to look in the description box. It doesn't matter because if you get the cam link, it will work all the same. Now, if you're even in more dire straits and you just want to get a basic, I need a USB plug and play camera, get this. It's the Logitech Pro HD webcam C920. The new ones actually come with a lens camera, or excuse me, like a lens cover so that Mark Zuckerberg can't, watch it from you. Carlos, that comment is okay. I don't. We'll answer cancer questions later on in the show. I think it's a good question, and I appreciate you for asking it. But this is an out-of-the-box camera that will work for anybody. I use this for years. Look, it's not anything fancy. It's not, but you could live stream today. And when you live stream from your laptop or your desktop, you do have more options than you do with a mobile phone. So I would seriously consider that. Now, I'm hoping that many of you as artists, creatives already have some of this stuff. So maybe this is our review for you. But the next thing that I would highly recommend is not even recommend, you have to get it, is a light kit. You do absolutely need a light kit. And I use this Newer light kit right here. And it's actually called Newer. That's the brand name. And it comes with all these great features that you will never, oops, sorry about that. I hit my sound effects. You will never actually need all of these parts. In fact, I'm using this light right now, and the only thing I use is the light. I don't put the orange covers on it. I don't use the Bluetooth, little adapter there, that little remote there. I don't use that at all. It's just a great light, and what that light does is it really gives you the lighting that you need to illuminate your face without filling up the entire room. Okay. So you will need a light kit, like no matter where you go. Now, Franco, Stella, and Charlotte Moore are asking some good questions. Charlotte Moore is asking, are you using a Mac or a PC? I am using a PC, but you can use a Mac just fine. In fact, I am on the Apple ecosystem all the time, unless I'm live streaming the Restream show. When I'm live streaming the Restream show, I use a PC because I want to have the best power I could possibly have. I'm using a custom-built computer, which you don't need, okay? I got it because I'm in the business, and my competitors look fantastic. So I need to stay on top, and I need to be able to compete at their level. As a musician or an artist, your goal is really going to be to present your art in the best way possible. Next question, Franco Stella is asking, are you using the Canon 6 Mark II? No, I'm using the Mark I. I bought these before the Mark II came out, and I will recommend the Mark I. I don't know why I need to get the Mark II yet. Now, if they changed the pull-out screen, there might be reason to upgrade, but I don't upgrade when iPhone comes out with a new phone. I don't upgrade when Canon comes out with a new camera. I upgrade when it's financially feasible or beneficial to upgrade. So the fact that the Mark II is out, for all of you artist friends, let the photographers spend their money on that. The Canon Mark I, will go down in price. And that's the one I would recommend getting. Great question, Franco Stella. And then we had another question about sound effects. The question is how to use sound effects. Great question. I've got this device right here called the X keys. And let me see if I can get that in the screen. And with the X keys, I can program different sound effects into the soundboard. You guys have heard this one before.
You suck.
Right? And use those on a push play. Now, if you want to learn more about how to use sound effects, go to owenvideo.com/YouTube. I have like 5 or 6 videos on how to find sound effects, how to save them, how to put them in your show, how to use them in your show. I think you'll really like that if you are into sound effects. So we've talked about what camera you should get, and we've talked about the lighting. Now I want to talk about your soundboard. I'm hoping many of you already have a soundboard like this. This is the Alesis Multimix 4. I'm using it right now, and this allows me to plug in a high-quality microphone. It allows me to plug in 2 high-quality microphones. It actually allows me to plug in 2 high-quality microphones. I should take that back. 2 XLR connections. and then 2 1/4-inch connections. So you can have 2 XLR mics, one for your voice, one for your guitar, and then you can have like a synthesizer in or a MIDI keyboard in the others, and you could be playing keyboard, playing guitar, and singing all on one soundboard. And it gives you the ability to level all of those out and make them sound perfect. For price per pound, it's $99. Price per pound, it's absolutely the coolest thing in the business. Now, what mic do I recommend? I recommend this mic that I'm using right now. It's a $300 mic. It's called the Rode Procaster broadcast quality microphone. But most of you, that might be a little bit out of the realm for you. So I would recommend this starter mic by Samson Technologies. This is I think it's a $99 mic, and it works just fine. My wife uses this for her podcast, and it works just fine. Are there better mics? Sure, but you're going to jump up in huge value, huge price if you go with a bigger mic. Now, I would also maybe consider getting these lavalier mics, because then you can have some plugged in and some can be virtual. But at the end of the day, it's up to you. Now, if you want to learn more about how to get all of this done with your musician or artistry business, we've covered a whole lot of content today. And, you might be thinking to yourself, this is great, but it's like a little bit overwhelming. If that's you, I don't doubt it. But that's why I want to invite you to our upcoming webinar, where we will teach you the Video Pro system. That is how to use video to grow a huge, successful business. And we have a workshop coming up this week. You can register for free, and you can learn exactly our system for growing your company, for growing your creative business using live stream video. We're going to show you how the YouTube algorithm works. Plus, we're going to show you how to create content that your audience will actually love. And if that's something you want to register for and be a part of, then go to owenvideo.com/training. I would love to see you there. Thanks so much for joining us today. That wraps up our time. Before I leave, I do want to answer one quick question that came in, who says, Owen, serious question. What is the type of treatment called to reduce your cancer? I would like to tell someone else about it. Mark, that is the entire reason I believe I share my cancer with you. The whole reason I share that I was diagnosed, that I'm getting better every day, because I'm not someone that you should not say, oh, Owen, I'm so sorry. I feel better than I have felt in a year. I look better, that my hair has regrown. Look at this beautiful hairstyle, folks. Okay. This has all come from my metabolic cancer therapy. Metabolic cancer therapy. And if you go to http Beat Cancer with Me, you can join my Facebook group, where I share more about how I'm beating cancer using alternative and mainstream pharmaceutical methods to shrink my tumors. I'm doing 3 big things. I'm doing chemotherapy, I'm doing off-label drugs, and I am doing diet. But I'm also doing a handful of other things that I would love to share with you. I don't make any money from it. I'm not trying to make money, but it's too much to explain. I do have a blog at owenhemsath.com, where you can go to owenhemsath.com and check that out. And if you or someone you know is dealing with cancer, please push them, scream at them, shake them. I don't care how sick they are. I don't care how tired they are. I don't care if they don't want to hear about miracle cures. You must explain to them the value of metabolic cancer therapy, because it actually works for everyone who has cancer. So thank you for asking me that question. Let's go to Krista Bovin. She says, I need to use my laptop and Logitech webcam at my dining table and also at school. So I bought 2 LED panels to place on the table next to my screen. I like them. That is excellent. Krista Bovin is making so many inroads in her art collection business. I'm super glad that you're here today. Charlotte Ann Moore is saying, blog name again, owenhemsath.com. owenhemsath.com. You can also go to Beat Cancer With Me. It's my Facebook group. That link doesn't always work. And Brigetti is saying absolute proof that it does work. Thank you so much. And thank you, Claudia, for being here. Thank you, TubeBuddy, for being here. Thank you, Demi Hard, for being here. It's so glad to work with you guys today. And remember, if you're an artist, if you're a, geez, that's the wrong slide. If you're an artist, a musician, a comedian, or trying to grow a creative business, you should absolutely be using live streaming. Join us next week for another exciting episode. I'm Owen Video, and I can't wait to see you there.